Morning, everybody. Four Corner Auditing was invited to a meeting here by the City of Farmington at Farmington City Hall. Said he would sit down and have a word with me. Morning.
Hi.
I'm here to see Rob. I'm here to have a meeting with Rob. I'm here to see Rob,
Rob?
city manager.
Oh, he's across the street.
The city hall's right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go across the street, and when you go in the doors, take a right. And there'll be a window like this.
Okay.
And just let them know you're there to see him.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. This is across the street, City Hall. Snowed here in New Mexico last night, everybody. I woke up and there was snow on the ground. Surprisingly. This might be the last of the snow. This is City Hall, everybody, here in Farmington, New Mexico. So we got over here. Morning.
How can I help you? Are you reviewing today?
I'm here to have a meeting with Rob, city manager.
Okay, one moment.
How's your morning going? It's actually pretty nice in here.
Be right up.
Okay, thank you. First time I've been in here. It's nice in here.
That's not bad, huh?
Oh yeah. Got more info over here. I was called last week on Wednesday, surprisingly. Got a phone call telling me that the city manager wanted to have a sit down, a small meeting with me.
Mr. G, how are you, sir?
Morning, Mr. Rob.
Good to see you.
Yourself.
Rob Mays.
Rob Mace.
Come on in.
It's nice in here.
Yeah.
My first time in here.
Oh, good. This is where our city council meets, so you're welcome here anytime we have a council meeting.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, have a seat.
How's your day going this morning?
You know what? It's going well.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Snow hasn't been too bad. We were able to get the roads cleared. And
Yeah, I just you finally got my word about I've been doing some what a First Amendment audit is, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, and surprisingly, here I started over here at the police station because the dispatchers, all the dispatchers, when I asked for their name, as public servants,
yeah,
they're supposed to give it,
Sure.
because all they're giving me is their first name. Then they're saying that they don't have to give their name because it's under their policies. And I tell them, I know your policies already. I say, as government workers, as public officials, while you're on duty, when the public asks you for your information, and especially when we want to know who we're talking to, you give your name. But, I've just been getting rude attitudes back and telling me, that their policies are different and stuff like that. And
yeah. I think it makes people nervous. We try to train people to not. We are all 100% committed to the First Amendment, and sometimes people just, you show up and it surprises them or goes against the normal interactions they have with people.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
they haven't necessarily been trained specifically on that, and then there's confusion, and of course, we have a lot of laws associated with public records and those kinds of things that we're more associated with.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
more trained in how to manage.
I really appreciate you wanting to sit down and, have a word with me and stuff like this about this. And it's
Anytime.
very professional of you, because
Yeah.
makes your department look good, and
Yeah.
small
Well,
meetings
you
like
mentioned the dispatchers. Of course, those are a part of San Juan County employees, which, there's a distinction between the organizations, but I think that, for everything I know, the county is certainly is committed to doing the right thing as well. But we
Yeah.
really do try to pride ourselves on being very transparent.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
There are certainly things where we would draw a line, based on the law and the public records, inspection of public records and public meetings are very, very clear. And then there are a small amount of things that are allowed to be kept confidential, but it's very few, right? I mean, there's
yeah.
some personnel records, some negotiations, legal issues.
Oh, yeah.
But almost everything is done in a public meeting that the public's invited to.
Yeah.
The agendas, of course, are published in advance, and we embrace that and believe in it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they just need to understand, they're public service. They need to know who pays their salaries.
That's right. We work for the public.
Yes.
You're one of my many bosses. That's right.
Yes, yeah, and this is how I want the interactions to be. Like you said, they're not used to it. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Maybe when I come around the next time, they will know and just kind of be a little more professional and and I've been having a problem with on the phones all the time. Every time, they don't give their name at all at the start. Everybody here, even the clerk's office yesterday, I called, and she didn't even say who she was. I said, "May I get your name?" She tells me no. She says, my dispatch number is. I said, you know what? I know your policies and procedures already. When asked by the public, when the public asks for your name, you give it. We want to know who we're talking to, And sometimes they'll start throwing an attitude and start saying, it's in our policies and stuff like that. And I said, I already know your policies.
Yeah.
I didn't just jump into this, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago.
Right.
I've educated myself on this for the last 7 years,
Yeah. Are you from here?
Yeah, I'm local.
Yeah.
I'm from the eastern part of the Navajo Nation.
Yeah.
About 40 miles west of Cuba.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so, like you said, it's just about transparency and stuff like that. And I wrote a complaint. I did a small audit there in the police station, and
At the dispatch.
yes, in the dispatch area.
Okay.
I was in the
San
public.
Juan County Aztec.
Aztec. I did a.
But this dispatch office. I just want to be sure.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's not the police station, but go ahead.
Yeah, I went in there, and right away, like you said, they were surprised that I came in with my
Yeah,
my
people-
phone and stuff like that, and
people are human,
Yeah.
and you're right. You have rights, and public employees have responsibilities. It's just, at the end of the day, they're just normal people that are trying to get up and do their job, and it makes them nervous, right? A camera makes most people nervous being interviewed,
Yeah.
makes people nervous giving their name, makes people nervous, they're fearful.
Yeah.
You know, especially females, you know, they tend to, you know, so there's reasons why that people sometimes probably react unnecessarily defensive to you because they perhaps just, you know, they aren't taking it in the context that you mean it, and they're, you know, so we do our best again to try to
Yeah.
train people to welcome you and embrace you into any public aspect of the city. You're more than welcome to come in and film anytime you want. You're
Yeah.
welcome to attend any of our public meetings. Any records you'd like to have, very easy to get. Simplest way is we have a portal right on our website to request what you're wanting. If you
Yeah.
have something well, a lot of stuff's already posted on there. Probably 90% of what you'd be interested in is even.
Yeah, especially with today's
It's already there.
COVID going around and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
on our website, there's a section called transparency. If you click on that, it'll just open up a whole list of all of our financial documents, budgets, monthly reports, every
see.
audits, everything is on there. And then
Exactly for what the public needs to,
Yeah,
if they want to look into
absolutely.
it.
And
I
if
see.
there's something you want beyond that, there's a portal to click to ask for what you want.
I see.
And they'll get it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, like you said, the women are the ones that are more or less, you know, they'll call the police right away and, you know, say that there's somebody in here harassing with a camera and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
I know, and I
They-
know there's confusion.
they need to understand the definition of harassing when it comes to a video camera because it's totally different, you know. And like I said, over here about 3 months ago, I came in over here because the dispatchers were not following policies and procedures. And when I went in here with my camera, you know, they were kind of freaking out that I came in with my camera and
Where again?
right over here, right at
Oh,
this
yeah.
dispatch. And
This isn't dispatch, this is the police department.
I mean, police department.
Dispatch is in Aztec.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the dispatch, police department, when I went in there, there was a lady in the back area on the furthest west side. I went up to the window and I asked her, may I get your name? And what she do? She just closed the blinds on me, you know. And I made a complaint with Good Sales.
Yep,
Yeah, the officer.
Yep.
And I got a letter, came back and said nobody was in the wrong within the department, and that's totally incorrect. You know, I have all that on camera, and where that lady was, I tried to ask him, who's that? What is the officer behind you? What is his name? They seen me. They knew who I was. I mean, didn't know who I was, but they knew I was trying to ask questions and stuff like that. But she closed the blind on me. You know, I was trying to, and she kept on moving in front of the camera and stuff like that, and that's what I reported to whoever oversees these public servants over here, and what I got a letter back saying nobody was within their wrong, and they're totally wrong. Whoever gave me that letter back, I have it here, but you know, it's saying that nobody within that department did nothing wrong. So
well, we're definitely not perfect as an organization or as individuals, but we certainly will strive to improve in those areas. And of course, you can, if there's anything I can do to expedite information, you know, you're at the top now with me as the city manager, and so
Yeah.
perhaps there's something I can do to get you information that you
they
desire and want. If your goal is just kind of to go around and surprise employees and put them on the spot and see if you can get them to, you know, to kind of.
not when you're exercising your rights. There's none of that at all.
Yeah.
You know, you're well within your rights. You know.
Is there is there an element of the First Amendment that you're most specifically focused on auditing?
No, just everybody just following their policies and procedures.
Do you know the First Amendment?
Yeah.
Do you know the 5 elements of it? Are you
The
able to
freedom of
list them?
press, the freedom, religion, and freedom of speech, and stuff like that.
Freedom of assembly?
Yeah.
We believe in all 4 of them here.
Oh, yeah.
And, anxious to demonstrate that any way we can, but we're not gonna, you know, like you said, we'll try to do our best, but we're not gonna, you know, jump through hoops unnecessarily, but we want to treat you right and grant you access to anything and everything that will help you feel comfortable that we respect your First Amendment rights, and of course, we respect the First Amendment rights of our employees as well.
Yeah. You know, it's you guys can feel the same way once you guys are off the clock, you know. But once you guys are on the clock, you know, you guys have to, you know, serve the citizens as, like I said, when I make phone calls and stuff like that, they don't give their name at all. And when I try to ask for their name, some of them, not all of them, some of them will be professional and they'll give me their name, and they don't, like you said, they don't understand the First Amendment, in which I tell them, as public service, you're working for the public, me as the public, you're the servant. When asked by the public, I already know that you're supposed to give your name, and if you have a government ID number, you also give it also. Yeah, so, and, I was doing this over in Aztec, and, they wouldn't arrested me when they know that I was well within my rights. So I went over I called to the public defender's office, Aztec, and I let them know ahead of time. I said, do you know what a First Amendment is? Freedom of press. And Sarah Fields started laughing about me. She started saying, oh, you're watching too much TV. This is all in your head. And she started laughing and jumping around in front of the employees that work under her.
Yeah, I don't know her have anything to do with the public defender's office.
No, this is
that's a state of New Mexico office.
Yeah, this is just a demonstration of what happened to me because I was exercising my
What did they arrest you
rights.
for?
Criminal trespass and resisting arrest. And you can't violate somebody's rights when they had not committed crime or broken the law at all.
Well,
And
there are definitely places within public property that are private forums, and that you don't have an automatic right to go into. I don't know if that was the case over there or not.
oh no, I was well.
We try to have it very clearly delineated here, which areas are absolutely public and which areas fall into the category of a private forum
Yeah.
and protected area, that we don't have to allow the public access, unauthorized access or unescorted access.
Yeah.
So those are clear lines that we will enforce here as well. But again, I want to err on the side of access and transparency. If any sincere information you want, I'm really anxious to try to get it to you. Like I said, if your objective is just to kind of go around and stick a camera in someone's face and see if you can get them to freak out or act weird or get defensive, humans are humans, and we'll continue to try to improve.
That's not my intention at all.
yeah.
The reason why I told you the reason why I started this,
Yeah.
because the dispatchers are not following their policies and procedures.
And again, they have nothing to do with the city of Farmington. I keep trying to remind you of that. So I have no chain, they're not in my chain of command at all, or the city of Farmington.
Yeah, but they're government workers such
Sure.
as you are. And,
Absolutely.
And when asked by the public, for their name, they give it. They don't.
Yeah.
You just don't throw an attitude and say, all I have is my ID number. Here you go.
Yeah.
Then it's when I have to end up talking to the supervisor every time. Like yesterday, I called to the clerk's office and
To which office?
the clerk's office. I was trying to get a hold of this one here next door,
Okay.
and I was trying to get a hold of you, but I called the wrong office, which I actually did. I walked into the wrong over there, and they sent me over here. Telling me it's a City Hall.
Oh, yeah.
I never been to these buildings before. I've always passed them when I was a child.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is Farmington City Campus. So across the building over here, that building's mostly is a private forum. But there's a few public areas in it, but that's the finance department. And over here is Main City Hall. Of course, this is the chamber with the legal offices down this hall, and of course that's the clerk's office there. But this is the place to come and find me.
Yeah.
But it's important to have an appointment when you come
Yeah.
to meet with me, because I'm usually not available.
See, that's where everybody gets the when it comes to the camera, everybody should be saying hi, mom, and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
instead of
but people are human. They're not. People are nervous. They're scared.
oh yeah,
You know how that is. It's just you're used to it. You understand what you're doing, and you're probably far more educated on this subject than most typical employees. We got $13 an hour employee that's just doing their best to try to make ends meet. They're not viewing this as this broad or big philosophical question that you do.
Yeah.
And it's important, and we try to train them and help them. Excuse me.
yeah. And then the thing is, I don't go and sticking my camera in anybody's faces. I'm well within the public area. I know where I can and cannot be.
Good.
And
And you
stuff
won't have
like
any
that.
problems here.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's what happened to me in Aztec, and that day, I've got evidence even on camera to where I can do a civil lawsuit, but nobody wants to, every law firm here in Farmington says they got a contract with the public defender's office. And that's the reason why I'm having a hard time getting a civil rights attorney.
Well, there's lots of them in Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I doubt that that's true, that there's none in Farmington that could do that, but maybe they don't. You know, maybe they're just not interested in the case, I don't know, but I've gotta believe if you have a valid case, you won't have a trouble finding an attorney to represent you.
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to pursue your complete legal rights of petitioning the government to analyze that situation, which is also part of the First Amendment, as I'm sure you know, the fifth key element.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
one of the ways you petition the government is through potentially the court system, so.
Yeah, so that's what happened. The law firm over in Aztec, the sheriff himself, we sat at the park like this and conversated about it. And we had a good
With the
good
sheriff?
talk. Oh, yeah, with
Yeah.
Sheriff D. Smith.
Yeah, that's not our sheriff's name, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Deputy,
Sheriff's name is
Dep-
Ferrari.
Deputy D. Smith.
Oh, deputy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he told me that he's going to see if he can pull a few strings, which I already kind of knew that it wasn't going to work out. And I told him if nothing's going to happen and stuff like that, you know, I'm going to let you know right now. I'm going to come down there and start auditing. And I tried to call him back a month and a half later, and he never answered my calls.
Yeah, I don't know him either.
So-
He's not a part of the city of Farmington either.
So, yeah, so I went down there and I started doing my audit, you know, and I went to the first building I went to was Central Procedures. And right when I came in with my camera, I asked for it. There was a young lady that was very professional. And I asked her for her supervisor. And the supervisor, she came behind the door and she seen my camera. And she didn't fully come all the way out to me. I was in a public area. And right away she told me, you can't have that in here. I said, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with San Juan County's Office of, what you call it, Central Procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that office, or again,
Yeah.
they're not related to the city of Farmington.
Well, I'm just giving you demonstrations about,
Yeah.
you know, how they're failing, the city of San Juan County. You guys are all part of San Juan County, you know, and it's,
We're
these,
all part of the state of New Mexico and the United States and the world too.
Oh, yeah. so, you know,
I
just,
don't have any authority or jurisdiction with those other entities.
but the thing is, you guys need to give the public information where to go and how to go about it and help the public get these informations done and stuff like that, instead of saying, you have to go here, you gotta go over there. They make you go in a circle, is what they do. And, you know, because they're upset because they don't like being on camera and they don't like the First Amendment audit,
Well,
you
if
know?
you have information you need from us, we have a one-stop shop for you to get it.
Okay,
Right there is any document that we have, and when you can do it online, or you can, again, most of them we put on, the ones that people ask for a lot, we just post, you know.
oh, yeah.
But, so
You
it's a
know.
one-stop shop. Now, we are spread out in about 75 locations, so there could be scenarios where you might feel the runaround, because you might have to go to a different department or something, but this is a central spot right here where we can help coordinate, and just exactly what you just said, help you find and navigate the right places and processes to get the information you're looking for.
So this will be the spot to come to and
Yeah,
find out everything.
this is City Hall.
You see, that's what the information that these public workers should be giving me, instead of telling me, go there, go here. I even contacted the Attorney General about what happened, the situation over in Aztec.
How'd that go?
And he gave me a letter back, telling me that I need to go under to a different system, the board that oversees the attorneys and stuff like that, so.
Oh, you're talking about not the district attorney, but the public defender's office.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
they're a state office, right? So neither San Juan County or City of Farmington have any jurisdiction with them. So it
So-
sounds like the Attorney General's pointed you in the right direction.
Yeah, so what he could have done is, you know, he could have called me and he could have let me know over the phone and stuff. And he could have helped me with the information I gave him, and he could have sent all that information over there instead of telling me, you know, to go do it on my own and stuff like that. That's what we pay you guys to do, you know. We pay, like you said, state workers, government workers, you know. This is what we pay you guys to do. We pay for these buildings, the vehicles, all the way down to your salaries, you know. This is the reason why we have a right to gather public information for public interest, you know?
Couldn't agree with you more. You are one of my bosses, and you are, you contribute to all of our salaries, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Could not agree with you more.
you know, sit down like this is, you know, it makes your department look very good, you know, and stuff like that. I'm glad you called and you
Yeah.
wanted to sit down and have a conversation
Yeah,
with
you can
me.
come back anytime. Like I said, call, set an appointment so that I'm here and
Yeah,
available.
yeah.
I wouldn't want you to come and then feel like I was being rude because I wasn't available. My days are booked up almost solidly with appointments.
Oh, yeah, I understand you guys are
But
busy.
almost always can work something in within a few days.
Yeah, yeah, so that's the reason why, yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how you got my word from who and stuff like that, but,
I only know about you because you called my office.
okay,
Yeah,
all
you
right.
you called here, a week or so ago, asking to meet with me,
Okay, yeah,
which is
okay.
great. Yeah, I'd be happy to do it.
Yeah, so that's, I was
I
surprised.
never turn away anybody in the public that wants to talk, and the camera doesn't make me nervous, but just realize it does most people, and give them a little bit of slack, whether
Well, this
getting
is,
used to it.
this is just, the reason why is to look for situations like this, good conversations and interactions with, our public workers, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's not to make you guys look bad, like right now, you know, you're making your department look very good. And
that's good to
sitting
hear.
down and having a word with me about all this, understanding that I have rights and, you know, like I said, I don't go around sticking my camera on people's faces. I don't
Well,
do that.
I shouldn't say sticking in
Yeah.
the face. Most people, even this, would make them nervous, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And people have to understand, that it's not just in government offices, out in the public, on street corners,
Oh, yeah.
people have a right under the First Amendment to film all kinds of things.
It's,
Most people just aren't aware of it, and it's still, younger people have grown up more with it.
yeah.
You get people my age and older, we didn't grow up with cameras in our pockets, right? And but social media and all those things, but just have to get used to the fact that privacy is somewhat of a myth these days, right?
the only
It's
way-
not just government workers. People have a right to film you.
Yeah.
People have a right to, if you're,
If you're out in public, yeah.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know. The only private place that you pretty much have is your home, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is the reason why I guess you wanted to come and meet me and understand where I'm coming from, and I just wanted you to let you know that, you
Good
know,
deal.
what I've been doing and what I've been up to, and just exercising my rights and,
Yeah.
you know, making sure that government workers are just being professional, following policies and
Well, it's
procedures.
important that we need to be held accountable, and we need reminders that remind us to train and remind our workers to always try to exercise good. From our perspective, of course, it's based on the First Amendment ultimately, right?
Oh, yeah.
But from our perspective too, it's also customer service, right? We view you, yes, as our citizens and our owners, but we
Yeah.
also, from a practical standpoint, try to view our citizens as customers and treat the way if I go to a restaurant, how do I want to be treated? If I go to a, government office myself to get something done, if I go down to try to get my driver's license,
Yeah.
and again, it's not an excuse, but particularly in COVID, where most government entities, I know in our case, we're about 30% understaffed, so everybody's overstressed, but that's not an excuse, and is not doesn't change anything about our responsibility to you. But again, you are dealing with humans, and on occasion they may react inappropriately or
No, like
in
you said-
ignorance in some cases, right?
Oh, yeah, like you
Or
said,
fear. Yeah.
like you said, that's where it comes back down to. If they don't understand, we need to let them know that, the
Agreed.
public's
Agreed.
have rights to come and make
Yeah.
sure they're doing their job correctly and being professional while they're at it. And like you said earlier, transparency,
Yep, and I want to thank you for your, I do know that there are people that abuse these things, that they aren't sincere in it. And you strike me as extremely sincere and professional in how you are conducting this First Amendment audit. And I'm happy to participate.
I appreciate it, because you really do make your department look good by sitting down and having a word with me. And this is the way I would like my audits to go and stuff like that, pretty much. And then it would make the whole San Juan County look much better and stuff like that, Like I said, maybe you might want to have a talk with the police station over here, and I still got the videos on my camera, and I don't, if I have to, and if nobody's not gonna fix nothing about what's going on over here about them, being rude and stuff like that, especially in front of the camera, closing the blinds on me and trying to ask them what their name is and what their badge number is as public servants, that's unprofessional, and that makes the department look real bad, So then the other thing is they're walking around. I know they're supposed to be their mask mandate, or policy is when they're walking around back without in their office area, they're supposed to be wearing masks, But other than that, if they're in their private area and in their office, they're okay without a mask, and that's what I have on camera over here. Ladies walking around without no mask, even though they're not in their office. They're walking around and they don't still have masks on, and stuff like that. And that's their policy. Then the policies they leave at the door are saying that, it's just only it's not a law to where we have to put a mask on. It's just you guys would prefer us to put masks on if we come in and
Yeah,
stuff
we're one
like
of the
that.
last states now that even have them mandate, right? Even California and Illinois and
Yeah.
Nevada.
Oh yeah. Yeah, these are just little things I was concerned about because, it's just they need to understand that their behavior needs to be a little bit more better than what I did when I took my camera in there last time. They like you said, it was my first time doing my auditing. The reason why I started it is because the dispatcher's not following their policies and procedures. And to this day, I thought somebody would talk to them, and I always give the words to the uppers, and I guess nothing's being done, and it's still the same rudeness every time I call the phone to these dispatchers, or like I said, the clerk's office yesterday.
Like I said, we can't help you with dispatchers, but it's not in our jurisdiction, but I understand your concerns, and we can learn from, what you're sharing with us about your experiences with them. Certainly can help us learn to do better ourselves for those things that we're responsible for, yeah.
Oh yeah. Then I went over to the magistrate. Is it the magistrate court next door?
Same thing, no, it's a municipal court here.
Yeah.
Magistrate court's a state office.
Okay. Yes.
Municipal court is a city office.
I went in there and I took my camera, and then we had a judge that came out who was very professional. I forgot his name, but he told me the same thing that you're telling me. Oh, you have a right to come and film in,
Yeah.
and
Well, see, that's a good example, right? Because a judge knows the law better
Oh, exactly.
than a secretary does,
You know,
right?
that made me feel good when I first went in there, and he told me, oh yeah, I know you have rights and stuff. As long as you stay within the public area, not go into any private
Yep. Same
and
here.
stuff
Yep.
like that.
Good to
Yeah.
hear.
Like
That is
the-
good to hear. That is within our jurisdiction, so I'm happy to hear that.
Oh yeah. So then, like I said, if it's private information, it's up to the public, especially if we're in a public area. It's their job to keep it private. If I can see it from public, I can film it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
We have no concerns with you filming anywhere.
Yeah.
Or posting.
Mhm.
You can post whether you find us doing things right, or even if you see us making a mistake. Part of our transparency, we're not trying to hide. You post anything you want about us, and
yeah.
we'll continue to do our best to be a continuously improving organization. And philosophically, we absolutely, personally, and as an institution, believe in the First Amendment entirely, all 5 aspects of it. Press is only one of those. Obviously, we affirm the freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and your right to petition the government. All those things really interact very directly with us. Not religion as much as far as the government, but all those others are. We monitor that and
Yeah,
completely believe in it.
There's a few more auditors here in New Mexico, and just a couple of weeks ago they posted a video up on Espanola. The state police went and invaded a young family's little RV van.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, and that wasn't good at all. They
No.
came in the
They
military.
need to be held accountable for that, and
Yeah,
that's
see, and it's not helping out New Mexico at all. And it was very heartbreaking to see them going in there military minded, and then
Yeah, I mean, that needs to be investigated with an open mind, and the
Yeah.
facts need to be
Yeah.
determined, and
yeah. So these videos, like you said, they go around the world. They go viral and stuff like that. They even got viewers that are Ireland, it's UK, that's international and
we
stuff like
welcome
that.
Like I
Yeah.
say, feel free to post anything that you film, and we're just fine with that. We have nothing to hide, so.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm gonna, just to let you know I know when the police are making an arrest or while they're in a, I know how to keep my distance and stuff like that, and so I would rather have you tell them that if I'm around recording, that just to have respect for me as long as I'm
Yep,
filming.
as long as you're not interfering.
Oh yeah.
And of course,
yeah.
that can be subjective sometimes, one person's opinion versus another as to where you're allowed to be. But as long as you're not interfering, you're welcome you're welcome to film any of our employee actions in public, right? There's, there are a few lines, like if a public person's in writing a check or something, paying a bill, you can't film their check information, but if you step back and you're filming the person paying their bill, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
We welcome it, so.
Yeah.
Well, anything else I can do for you, Mr. Chi?
Well, they're just, like I said, I put that complaint in and I have it on video, and I got the letter back saying nobody was within doing anything wrong within the office, and which I have evidence on to where they're closing.
Well,
They said they took a look at the video and they must have not.
Well, I guess that's an example of you have petitioned the government in this case, which is your right, and now there's a difference of opinion on the outcome and the result, which that's why you're free to post that, you're free to sue, you're free to do whatever you want to continue to pursue your opinion of what's right there, and obviously it may differ sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe not, hopefully not very often. I mean, our objective is to try to work things through collegially and so forth and resolve those differences of opinion, but you have followed your process, and which I encourage you to continue to do, to whatever level you want to take it.
I appreciate it.
And I'll look into that a little bit myself.
Then when I was talking to when I was sitting down and having this civil conversation with Deputy D. Smith, I called maybe 2 weeks later, and I called for the sheriff's, and the sheriff's office, they told me that they're going to send someone out. And about an hour later, I called back, and then they tell me that there's no sheriff going to come out at all. You have to call Farmington Police, and which I did. I called Farmington Police, and I think it was Officer Kowalski.
I recognize that name, but
Kowalski, and I forgot the other officer's name, but he was Navajo. And I didn't have my camera at the time. I didn't have it on, but what he did is he knew my car, and he knew I called in dispatch. And Officer Kowalski, he was driving. He went quite a ways down this way, to my right. I was parked.
where were you?
Right here at Berg Park.
Okay.
Berg Park, right down the outside. I was parked.
And what did you need a police officer for? Was there something?
For the situation about the dispatchers not following policies and procedures
Oh,
and
well, that's
stuff
not
like
a
that.
criminal issue, so they're not gonna probably, again, the city of Farmington has no jurisdiction over those dispatchers, so the police aren't your avenue. There was no crime being committed, but I'm sure, but they came and tried to talk to you anyway?
Well, in the way that they, it's not on camera, but Officer Kowalski seen me. He stopped in front of my vehicle, kind of looked at me, went all the way around, came up behind me, acting like I was the one that was starting trouble. And
Well, I'm sure they were confused as to why you called them about
Oh no, I know.
a personnel complaint.
I know a police officer's attitude when he has attitude.
I'm not suggesting there wasn't attitude. I wasn't there. I'm just saying, once again, the Farmington Police Department has absolutely no jurisdiction or ability to assist you with a problem you have with a sheriff's office or a dispatcher.
That's where you guys
That's
are.
my point.
That's where you guys are messing up. That's where those guys are messing up. Over in Aztec, I asked for Deputy D. Smith as a public servant. He should have came out, or they should have told me they're not going to come out anyways. Instead of me sitting there an hour later.
Well, I'm sorry that happened. Like I
Then
said,
tell
I
him-
don't know him, and that would be an issue for the sheriff's office. But my intent is to, when you share examples from other cities, states, like you talked about Espanola, I have no jurisdiction there too, but I want to learn from those things, so.
I don't know,
I'm
yeah,
happy to hear
because
about it.
like I said, we're all part of New Mexico, and it's not looking very well through these audits nowadays.
Sure.
And most of my videos, it's not very good. They've actually violated my rights from the start that I started auditing the first building, central procedures, all the way to law firm. Then when it got to the Aztec Public Defender's Office, their feelings got hurt over this, a First Amendment audit, and there was no crime committed. I was well in the public area, that it was there on open hours, and I was grieving my, exercising my rights and making sure that, and they were acting unprofessional from the start is what happened. That's what made me start the auditing also. And from there, Sarah Fields, I know you don't know her, but she was the one that, started telling me this is all in my head and, it's all a joke. So when I went down there with the camera, she never showed up in front of the camera the first time. I didn't know who she was. But there was a young lady there named Susan, and she was very professional. And when Sarah got tired of me being there with my camera, she decided to go call the sheriff. And that's more or less like conspiracy against me. So she called the sheriffs, and they came over, and Deputy D. Smith is the one that came over, the one that knew that I was well within my rights. And he started telling me, what did he say? He didn't say, you don't have no right to be here, but I forgot, but he told me that I'm not welcome there no more. And I said, I'm well within my rights. And he goes, yes, I know, but this lady's asked you to leave. And I told him, I told him there's no sign that says I cannot be in here. It doesn't say private property at all and stuff. So I told him when I walked out the door, I finally told him, well, you know what, I'm going to be back tomorrow and finishing my job and doing my audit. And what he did is he told Sarah Fields to go inside and lock the door. Then he stood in front of my camera like a tyrant, and stuff like that. And he understood, and he told me, he kept telling me, you need to leave, you need to leave. So, I got tired of it. I took off. Then a second officer came in, Gonzalez. The way they go about their jobs, they think that they can, make a law themselves and, and just arrest anybody.
Court yet on that?
Oh, yeah, it's all on
How'd it
recording.
go?
Yeah. Oh, court?
Yeah.
Oh, I pled
You don't
not
have to tell
guilty.
me, I'm just curious.
I pled not guilty.
So it's
so-
still in process?
Oh, yeah, and I talked to my public defender, and he said in situations like this, the police officers don't like witnesses, so he's going to talk to the officers and see if they might drop the charges. And so, if I still have to go to court, I'm still pleading not guilty because I was still well within my rights.
Yeah.
And so, that's my plan because I never did nothing wrong. I was just exercising my rights, and those guys are the ones that violated my rights, under the color of law also, They arrested me, took me to jail for not doing nothing wrong. I went through the procedures, and the last thing that bugged me is the last thing they told me I had to do in order to release me from the jail was a breathalyzer. They were trying everything they could to get me on something. I passed it. I used to drink a lot back in the days, and that's what I know they found on my record. And stuff like that. But I've been sober going on 8 years now.
Good for you.
And ever since I started staying sober, this is what I've been doing, is exercising my rights. And
Do you have another job that you're,
I work.
again, you don't have to tell me anything you don't want.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just talking to you as a friend now.
Oh yeah, I work here local.
What do you do?
I work at a self-service gas station. A car wash.
Which one?
You ever heard the Crazy Legs?
Oh, well, maybe no, but,
Yeah, that's where I work.
yeah, well, again, you don't have to tell me anything. You
Oh
don't have to tell me.
no, like you said.
I work for you, you don't work for me.
Yeah, that's all I just want. I'm glad he came and invited me to, have a sit down and have a little talk about, about my rights and you understanding my rights and you made your department look very professional, like I said.
Glad to hear that, and like I said, we're not perfect, but we'll keep trying to do better, so.
Oh yeah, that's all we
Alright.
can do. Yeah, like I said, that's why we do our audits. Just to remind government workers that they need to be transparent.
Are you the only formally designated First Amendment auditor in the area that you know of, or?
Oh yeah,
are there
yeah.
others?
Other than that, I know there's a few more. I think in Albuquerque.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, It's worthy work.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. So, and we keep in touch through our
Oh,
videos and
sure.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
social media and everything is.
Yeah, and then when this incident happened over here at the Aztec law firm, oh man, the comments were bad, very very bad.
Oh, at the
You know?
public defender's office?
Yeah, talking about
Did
easy.
you say the public defender's office is also defending you?
No, no, no. No, they're not honoring their oath at all.
No, but I mean, you have a lawyer from the public defender's
No,
office?
out of Bernalillo.
Oh, out of Bernalillo.
So they were telling me it's conflict
Oh,
of.
sure, of course.
They're telling me conflict of interest, and
Got it.
what I'm trying to do is get them to do their job because we paid them to do their job, but which they're not. They're not honoring their oath. They sent me to Gallup, and I was confused. They put me on the line to Gallup, and I thought it was still here without letting me know. And I guess I was talking to a lady from Gallup Public Defender's Office, and I was confused there for a while, and I finally asked them, who am I speaking with? And because it doesn't sound like anybody from San Juan, and they told me this is Gallup. And I said, well, so what's going on? And they told me they don't know what's going on either. And Stephanie Johnson, she's the one that did her job professionally and helped me out in my situation that I'm in. She said, what's going on is you can apply for a public defender there, but you're still gonna get one representing you from San Juan
I guess
County.
since you were arrested at the
Yeah.
public defender's office.
Yeah, see, this is where it's all looking not good for Aztec. They should have still assisted me with a public defender other than denying me and sending me elsewhere. And this is where I get a lot of help from my telling me, they need to honor their oath. It's what we paid them for. We don't pay them to send you elsewhere and stuff like that. And so that's where I'm at, and my court date's coming up here on the 1st of this next coming month. And, I already know that, I already got confidence in that I did nothing wrong and stuff like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I think it's in a jury trial and stuff like that. So, but I got the video proving that, and their feelings just got hurt. That's all, and that's not how it works. In order to arrest somebody, they have to have broken the law or committed a crime. And I was well within my rights, and this is a protected activity, and this is what I was telling them when I was in there auditing, and so that's where I was arrested, and I didn't even resist arrest at all. I was thrown to the ground. I just made sure that I got it all on video, and my phone went flying. Even though I was on the ground and I gave myself up. I don't know if that's just the normal thing they say. Stop resisting, put your hands behind your back, I think, and I still want to get the FOIA's request for their videos because I want to actually hear what their conversation was about me when they were coming over to arrest me,
In Aztec?
Yeah.
I don't know if they have videos in Aztec or not, but.
No, the body cams, yeah.
Do they have body cams?
I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
that's
I'm not sure the sheriff's office does, I don't know.
yeah, that's where they need to invest in these things. So, when situations like this happen, it can be fixed in the way it should be.
Well, luckily you got the video, so that should be
Yeah.
pretty clear evidence of whatever actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
If you got it
Yeah.
on video, you got that
Yeah.
tool to either to post or to use in your defense.
Well, yeah, it's already been posted, and everybody that's into this auditing is helping me, telling me you were well within your rights. That was a public area. The only way they can do anything is until you've broken the law, which you haven't. So it's time for you to go get you a lawyer who will help you in this situation, and because they're telling me if nothing's going to be done, they're just going to keep doing the same thing again. Because, and that's what I'm trying to. Well, I put a complaint on the lady who was telling me this was all in my head, and I don't know. I haven't heard no word back yet either. So hopefully they give her some kind of talking to, or other than that, she doesn't deserve to be in that office. Being that unprofessional, and especially as a supervisor, not knowing that. And the public defender's office, they should know these amendments, and doesn't look very good for that office. So, and that was a major fail, and stuff like that. And I had ever since Central Procedures, I had 2 guys following me around the whole time, it's more or less harassing me, and I told them I was well within my rights, and they're telling me you need paperwork to even be doing that. I said my paperwork is the Constitution. I told them, that's what gives me the right to do this. That's where New Mexico is kind of failing at these audits and stuff like that. So, other than that, I better let you get back to work yourself and
Well, it's been
have
good
a
to
good
meet you,
day.
Mr. Chi,
Oh, yeah.
and happy to sit down with you anytime.
Yeah, I appreciate you
Okay.
having a word with me about all of this too, which makes me feel a whole lot better than, thinking, where else are they going to send me, and stuff like that. But, I appreciate it, Rob. Rob, right?
Yep, Rob, you got my card there, so.
Okay.
All right, you take care.
All right.
All right, sir.
All right. All right. I was going to show you case law and stuff like that about how.
Yeah, you don't need to convince me. I believe it, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. You have a good day, Rob.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Anything else I can do for you today?
That's it,
You got everything filmed you want to film?
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
good?
I'm going to head out. I need to get to work myself, so.
Okay, all right, take care.
You too. Thank you.
Yep. And where'd you end up parking? You know your way back?
Yeah, I parked
It's
over.
confusing, I know, because you, all right, you take care.
Thank you, Rob. All right, everybody. That was the city manager, Rob. All right, guys, I better get to work. You guys have a good day.